I'm from Staten Island. I'm sorry, everybody.
If you don't know what Staten Island is, it's like New York's abortion that lived. So I would listen to Gangsta's Paradise, and it would make, like maybe I can get out of Staten Island.
Guy from New York, it's Pete Davidson.
Yay! I just dropped out of college. Anybody else? Yeah. I dropped out because I was dorming, and I didn't like dorming. That's it. I didn't speak to any of my roommates. And I think it's because, like, the first morning, we all woke up with a boner. And we were like, this isn't for any of us. You know? One time, we ran out of toilet paper, and we just didn't get any. But everybody took a shit every day, and nobody knew what they used. It was like this don't ask, don't tell policy that we had. One time, a roommate came out of the bathroom with one sock. I was like, fuck, we need toilet paper. Holy shit. This is getting real. I have no game with women, because I went to an all-boy Catholic school, which is like an educational cock block. It's not very fun. Here's something that should never happen in an all-boys school. Don't get an erection. There's no excuse for that at all. It just shouldn't happen because there's priests there. And priests are like sharks when you get a cut in the water. I got my priest to stop hitting on me, though. It was easy. I introduced him to my little brother. I got an A. I'm a pothead, I'm pretty sure you could tell. Yeah, I smoke weed because the commercials against it suck. Like, the cigarette commercials are good. They're good. The lady has no fingers. I'm like, nah, I need those. How am I gonna smoke weed with no fingers? There's certain things I can't do when I'm high. I figured this out recently. I can't play Call of Duty because I'm afraid of dying. As soon as the game starts, I just hide behind a rock. I'm like, you guys go. I'm gonna listen to these fifth graders call me a homo for the next 32 minutes. All my friends are black, if you can't tell by my sneakers, Jordans. You ever have a black guy compliment your sneakers? You're like, oh wow, these must be cool. If a white guy compliments my sneakers, I'm like, I'm gonna throw these out. What do I look like? I have a kid coming? I'm from Staten Island. I'm sorry, everybody. You guys don't know what Staten Island is. It's like New York's abortion that lived. Like, it's this awful place where dreams die. And I'm from there. Like, the only good thing we have are women sex offenders. I think that's awesome. It's actually why I still live there. If I turn on Fox News and the guy's like, woman rapes 3 kids at his 13 to 17 in the woods. I'm like, Mom, I'm going camping. You got that Boy Scout outfit from 3rd grade? It won't fit you. That's the point. Yeah. How are you guys? You good? I'm very depressed, everybody. I am. I just turned 20, and it's over. It's done. I just moved out of my mom's house, and I've realized something. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not. I thought about it. I'm 6'3". I'm 140 pounds. I have a problem with wind. My friend's like, you wanna go out? I'm like, you gotta check the forecast first. You might lose a friend. When I used to live with my mom, I just thought she was annoying. I thought she was annoying, and she cock-blocked my masturbation time. That's all Because she was the room next door, so every time I would get it going, I would like hear her sneeze and it would throw off my timing. And I'm like, I can't finish now. Mommy's sick. She might need these tissues. I miss living in my mom's house. When I used to live in my mom's house, I used to be able to jerk off in my bed, and then the next day, it would be gone. Now I live on my own. Just stays there. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere till I move. I don't have the same fears I do now, though, jerking off by myself than when I live in my mom's house. Because I used to jerk off in my mom's bathroom, you know, because it smelled nice and there was lotion. And I just realized now I was jerking off to my mom's scent, so that's fucking weird. Anyway, just hit me. No, but it was my biggest fear, because I used to jerk off in her bathroom all the time, and sometimes I would finish on the toilet seat. And my biggest fear is that one day she would just sit on it and get pregnant. Every day I would clean my bathroom. My mom had no idea what was going on. She was just like, "You're such a good boy." And I'm like, "You have no idea what I'm trying to prevent right now." I had to move out. I had to move out of my mom's house. It got really weird. She bought me condoms. All right, and it's fine if you're a mom and you want to buy your son condoms. It's just a way to do it. You know, if you want to get your son condoms, just get them and leave them in his room. Don't tell him. He'll find them. That's the way to do it. That's not what my mom did. My mom did something really weird, right? It was really weird. I was still staying at her house at the time, and it was like 11:30 at night, and she just barged in. She didn't text, knock, just barged in, and she was just like, "Hey, I got something for you." And I was high, so I was like, "What the fuck?" This is a little weird. And I swear to God, I turned on the lights. This is what she does. She had it behind her back, and she pulls out a 40-pack. And I swear to God, this is what she does. She goes, "I got every kind for my baby boy." And then she winked at me, and I was like, "You're giving the fucking weirdest vibe I've ever received in my life, Mom. I know you're single. I'm not the guy. I think it's time to move out. This is really weird." And she got me the 40-pack. I wanted to be like, "Who do you think your son is?" I didn't even get to use them. I just opened all of them and left them around their house. So she would find them and think I was cool. I did. She found one the other day. She called me. She was like, "I found another condom." I'm like, "Yeah, you did. That's your boy."
It's an honor to be at a roast hosted by Shaq's dick. Wow, Ludacris and Snoop Dogg are here. If I was 38, I'd be freaking out right now. Kev, I loved you as Black Annie. You was so good. Martha, it's nice to see you interacting with black people for the first time since prison. That's really nice. Martha's so old, her first period was the Renaissance. What's up, Ludacris? What's up, man? You might know Ludacris from your mom's That's What I Call Music CD. Come on, let's hear it for Shaq, all right? Thanks for being here and taking a break from throwing barrels at Super Mario. I'm sorry. What? Please don't eat me. I'm so afraid. It's so big. One of the many nicknames that Shaq has is Superman, right? And much like Superman, he pretends to be a reporter and has never met his real father. No. Shaq is cool, though. Shaq has shattered 8 backboards and 79 cervixes. Hannibal Buress is here, everybody. Hannibal, of course, is famous for exposing Bill Cosby, right? And only for exposing Bill Cosby. No, he deserved it, though. Bill Cosby hurt those women without ever caring about the consequences. That Hannibal Buress would become famous. Snoop Dogg's here. Snoop, I love Snoop. You know? Snoop's son just got accepted to play Division I college football. Yeah. So Snoop Dogg found out he has a son. And now, speaking of someone who probably doesn't know he has a son, Justin Bieber is here. Justin, give it up for him. It really is. It's really so cool what he's doing. You have no idea how awesome this is. My castmate on SNL, Kate McKinnon, does a perfect impression of Justin. Perfect, right down to the clit. Justin has a lot of tattoos. You have patience tattooed on your neck, and this doesn't count, right above his asshole. No, but Justin's more models than bulimia. He's the only thing they swallow and don't throw back up. Justin, you know, I lost my dad on 9/11, and I always regretted growing up without a dad. Until I met your dad, Justin. Now I'm glad mine's dead. And now for the greatest transition in the history of comedy. Two people from the movie Soul Plane are here, right? Kevin, Snoop, Soul Plane was the worst experience of my life involving a plane. You know, last year we did Bieber, and now it's Rob Lowe. Who's next? Flo, the progressive lady? David, thanks for taking time away from waiting for Sandler to write Grown Ups 3 to be here. David Spade's assistant once tried to kill him in his sleep, and the world was shocked to find out you could afford an assistant.
It's not bad.
Rob Riggle is here. I actually really love Rob Riggle. Rob was a Marine. The few, the proud, which also describes his fans. Peyton Manning's here. I love Peyton Manning. He's the shit. Peyton looks like if football players evolved to no longer need helmets. No, seriously, Peyton, I love all of your work, especially when I saw you in the Goonies yelling, "Hey, you guys!" A Super Bowl is also what Peyton's mom had to cut his hair with as a child. Jimmy Carr is here. When I first met Jimmy Carr, I thought, wow, Jeff Dunham's puppets are getting amazing. Jimmy, you look like a butler in a haunted mansion. Nikki Glazer's here. I'm friends with Nikki, so she's very funny. You know, Nikki has a show called Not Safe, though most people call it Not Schumer. Ah, f*** you. Well, Ralph Macchio's here. That's really cool, right? Ralph Macchio, right? You may know Ralph Macchio from saying wax on, wax off if you've been to the car wash on Melrose and La Brea. And Ann Coulter is here, everybody. Ann Coulter, if you're here, who's scaring the crows away from our crops? You know, Ann describes herself as a polemicist, but most people call her a You know, last year we had Martha Stewart, who sells sheets, and now we have Ann Coulter, who cuts eye holes in them. Anyway, Jewel's here. Jewel, I won't make fun of you yet, because I want to give everyone at home time to Google who you are. My mom really wanted me to get you to sign this. I don't know what the f*** it is. If it's a phone, it's broken, but she'd really appreciate if you could sign this. My mom came here to see you, so yeah. Let's hear it for Rob Lowe, okay? Right? Rob Lowe. Or as gonorrhea doctors call him, patient zero. People call Rob Lowe a bad actor, but that's only because they never saw him tell his wife he didn't that nanny. Rob has 2 beautiful kids here. Not his children, they're just guaranteed in his contract. Rob was the first male spokesperson for the Lee National Denim Day, which raises millions of dollars for breast cancer research. You know, that's a great thing. It's a disease, yeah. It's a disease that his mother, his grandmother, and great-grandmother suffered from. But you still a 16-year-old girl in 1988. It doesn't change anything. You still did that.
I'm coming for you.
No, seriously, thank you for having me here. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know who any of you are, really. It's like I was born after all this happened.
We'll do some 9/11 jokes and then we'll get the out of here. How's that sound? It's hard to transition into anything. I don't know if you noticed anything about my comedy, but there's not many transitions. It's very like dick, dad. Like it's like very straightforward, easy listening comedy. Like, you know, it's not the Kendrick Lamar. I'm very French Montana of comedy. Like, after every joke, I should just be like, ha, and you'd be like, aha! I get it. So, yeah, my dad, if you don't know, he was a fireman. He died 9/11. He was a very good dude. And I have a lot of jokes about it. And if you don't like the first one, you probably won't like the rest. What's cool about your dad dying on 9/11 is, besides the free parking, is also, 0 for 1, skirball. That's not the only good thing about your dad dying, come on. No, the cool thing about my dad dying and being a fireman was like, now, I get all of his fireman gear. So, whenever I smoke weed in New York City, I wear it. Yeah, so now people just think I'm a shitty fireman. But I'll be so high, I'll forget. Like, people come up to me and be like, you're a fucking disgrace. And I'll be like, you're a fucking disgrace. I'm like, oh shit, I'm a lieutenant. I forgot, I'm very sorry. Have a good day, ma'am. I didn't really care when my dad died. It didn't bother me very much because I was 7. You don't understand things when you're 7. You know, if it happened now, I'd be in a world of trouble. But I'm actually, it's weird to say this, I'm lucky it happened when I was 7. I know it sounds weird, but it's the real thing. Like, I remember my dad died and my mom was like, your dad's dead, but we got you a PlayStation 2. And I was like, yeah, cool. I was like, that seems about even. That's pretty fair. No, I'm serious. I really didn't care. I was like, I'm gonna push my mom down the stairs and get a PS3. That was ridiculous. It's my new life of murder and toys. What's weird is my grandma on my mom's side, my mom's mom, her birthday's on 9/11. And she never liked my dad. Kind of fishy, isn't it? I always wanted to ask her. I always wanted to be like, hey, Grandma, on the low, did you make any wishes? I want to get a tattoo. I want to get my dad's initials. It's a very, like, Italian, Staten Island thing to do. I feel like Italian people are almost like waiting for someone in their family to die so they can go get a tattoo. I'm serious. You ever been to like an Italian funeral or wake and the son of whoever died has like the prayer card going down their side? You're like, how the did you do that already? And it's like healed. I want to get my dad's initials, you know? I want to get it tattooed on me. I feel like it'd be very cool. But I found out recently I can't. I don't know why I never noticed it. I guess I just never pay attention. but my dad's initials are SMD. Yeah. That's why we named the special SMD. But SMD also has other meanings, like, for instance, suck my dick. That's the more popular meaning, believe it or not. So my friends are like, you can't get that tattoo because people will think you're an asshole. You know? And I agree. I'm like, you're right, I shouldn't. But then I thought about it. I was like, I should. I was like, I could only win. I was like, if someone has the balls to bring it up to me, oh, I will win, like, so fast. Like, I will never lose. It's so dope. Think about that. I'll have it on my neck, and having a good time. Girls come up to me, and they're like, you're a pig. All I gotta do is be like, actually, it's my dead dad's initials. And then they'll feel so bad, they'll probably suck my dick.
I love rap music. It's my favorite. Yeah, I used to get bullied because I wanted to be a rapper in high school. I wanted to be a rapper, and my name would be VIP. It's kind of a dope, right? No, it's kind of good. It's kind of a dope name. It's kind of a dope name. You could agree, it's a good name. I remember one of my lines that from VIP's soundtrack. One of them was popped tire, set afire, Oscar Mayer. So, but I always used to listen to hip hop. Never had friends, so I used to just hang out and listen to hip hop because it would be motivating, and hip hop makes you feel good about yourself. But the weird thing would be, like, my friends are all in their mid-30s, early 40s. So, like, they like a different type of hip hop. Like, they love Biggie in the way, I like Biggie too, but the way that, all right, relax. Yeah, he's not here, obviously. Yeah. I know, that wasn't easy, but you threw it up and I fucking dunked it, so all of you. How's that? Anyway. No, but when my older friends talk about Biggie, like, they talk about him like, they're like, notorious. You know, like, they feel it. They're like, oh, he would have been the best. They're like, if he was alive today, he would have been the best, you know? It's so sad that he died. And I always try to make them feel better because I feel for them. And I'm like, it's probably better that he died back then than, like, now of, like, natural causes. You know, yeah, it's better he got shot than it be like a burger that took Biggie down. Biggie died on Crenshaw, what happened? Burger. It was a burger. My favorite rapper is Coolio. I love Coolio. Yeah. He's still alive. You know, he's been alive forever, and he's a cook, so, you know, he's healthy and he's not going anywhere. He's a reliable guy to love. Like, I never wake up like, oh, what's happening to Coolio? You know what I mean? I know he's out there somewhere. Love f***ing Coolio. He's the man. First time I ever heard Gangsta's Paradise was in a movie. Yeah, right? Most of you probably know the song from Dangerous Minds. I wasn't alive when that was a thing. I know it from Pain and Gain, the weightlifting Michael Bay movie. So, and another reason why I love listening to Gangsta's Paradise is there's no N-words in it. So, like, I could sing it drunk and not, like, f*** up. You know what I mean? It's like I could sing it confidently all the way through, no matter where I am. I don't have to worry. I grew up in Staten Island, and when you grow up in Staten Island, you're just probably gonna be a construction worker that beats his wife. Like, you know, like it's like the best you could do. You know, so I would listen to Gangsta's Paradise, and it would make, you know, like, maybe I can get out of Staten Island.